Ugh, man. I'm a fucking zombie today. Oh, dude. What the hell? Oh. So, first off, let's make sure we're working. Let's do that. It's gonna be a weird stream. I apologize. It's not my normal Sunday stream where I've been trying to play a game every Sunday. So I played through an entire campaign of Space Station Zero. And now I'm about to start Silver Bayonet. Obviously not today because all my crafting stuff is on my desk here. Why is all my crafting stuff on my desk? My husband's about to go on a trip. It's going to be a pretty long trip with lots of flights. He wanted to get a booster. I thought it made sense for us to get them both at the same time. The boosters kick my ass. He's a little tired, but he's pretty much okay. I feel like I've literally, in The Lion King, where Mufasa, gets run over by all the buffalo? That's what I feel like. So it's not surprising this happened to me last time. And then when I first got my thing and all, man. And it happened to me when I got COVID. All this is, every time it's happened, it's just fucking wrecked my ass. Yeah. I'm a little beat, to say the least. I walked over to Starbucks this morning. That took literally all of my energy. I was standing in Starbucks just this blank-faced zombie trying to pick up our order, and I was just like, man, I am beat. So, sadly, no playing game today, which is a real shame. I was kind of really looking forward to it, but I don't have the energy to follow a rulebook right now, so I still want to do something, so I figured we'd do a little bit of hobby like we did yesterday. I can show some stuff off for Silver Bayonet. So I got a little bit of hair on them. I've got some big bat boys right there. And these are on the base style that we were working on stream yesterday. Some little bats that go with them. I've got some of my characters. So there's the gunslinger guy. Here, who I think is just a rifleman. Yeah, that's just a rifleman. They're pretty cool. Another rifleman. These ones, they've all been top coated. And there's my plague doctor with his magic boof. He's got a little bit of doggy hair on him. It's a side effect of Shiba shedding season and top coating. Sometimes I get little bits of doggy hair. But yeah, so that's part of my team. And I've got what's going to be the Highlander. So there she is. That's not like a movie or a TV show. It's literally just what kind of character she's going to be. She's going to be a Highlander. There she is. And then got what's going to be the player character. It's this guy in the tricorn hat, from Bloodborne. So, yeah, so that's going to be most of my Silver Bayonet team. I've also got another rifleman, just in case I need points. So there she is. And there she is. And then I've got Glorio from Curse City with his bright purple hair and he's got his purple boots and his purple coat, his purple gloves. He's a bright kind of fella. I've got him, but they're not top coated yet. So these are going to be the guys for my team when I do get to play, which will be pretty fun. I also got a bunch of zombies. We'll take a look at those too, because I gotta figure out somewhere to put them. Oh, man. Alright. Finished silver bayonet stuff. It's going in this box right here. Where it's going. Alright, finished silver bayonet stuff. So since my player team is made of such like weird hodgepodge of minis, I figured I would just base them the same as all the monsters. Because the monsters are going to go and become my my Soulblight Gravelord army eventually. So, alright. There we go. Alright, let's look at some zombies. So we got big Gravelord. There he is. There's my big Gravelord. You know, belt buckle. You're pulling a zombie out of the ground. Pretty boss. And we got a whole bunch of these guys. And they're just kind of like this one with this pitchfork. I put this lady in a red dress. Thought that was cool. Got all little trees and stuff growing out of them. We got some who still have the tops of their coffins on them because they've been staked in. And there's this lady with a shovel. So, pretty fun stuff. Pretty fun stuff. They'll make a fun game of Silver Bayonet. So the first game we're going to do for Silver Bayonet, there's one called The Revenants, and I think I can tweak it a little bit to work with single player pretty well. So we're going to play that as our first game, which I think will be pretty fun. So yeah, so that's all that. And now you've probably been like, what is that giant crotch that's been in the middle of the camera this whole time? Well, this giant crotch is a 3D printed knight. Or official name, a Scavenger Mark II. From Station Forge. And it is literally one of the nicest 3D printed files I've ever dealt with. Really, really beautiful, nice. The supports were excellent. It went together fantastic. I've had one problem with it, which is like nothing because these big models, lots of times they have issues. So like it's not surprising when the big models have issues, but you know there's some cool stuff. I gotta fill a little gap there. Bend the barrel a little bit still. I'm gonna have to heat that up with some warm water and bend it down a little. She just bent while she was curing. And there's like this cool ass evil arm. It's really cool. The head's really neat. The kit comes with like, or the pieces come with like, God, half dozen different heads. I liked this one. It's got this weird little robot metal mouth teeth thing. And all the pieces fit together really nicely. So like, see here, you can actually sink a magnet in there. And there's holes in here for magnets. See the little indent? So if you really wanted to, you can magnetize this and it would just fit like that. It'd be really nice and easy. I'm going to glue mine, but you could do it. So this piece usually has a tab on the top, like a mail tab. But I clipped it off. Clipped off its donger, because this is where I'm going to magnetize mine. I'm going to magnetize mine in the upper arm, like that. So that way I can just swap the arms out like this. So I have to drill a little hole in there, but we're not going to do that on camera because this is resin. So you should use a respirator when you do it. And I'm going to be super, super mega honest. I'm a little short of breath from the shot. So I don't want to use a respirator today. So this is going to go at home. Now the only problem, because there's like a dozen different guns and stuff. A little bit of warping there, right? Which isn't surprising. It's a straight piece like this. And the fact that it's slightly curved like this means that it's going to warp unless you like cure it perfectly all around. So I'm going to have to warm that up and bend that back into shape. The only problem I've had is the body is hollow, which is good. It's nice they auto-hollowed it. But the area here in the neck kind of got messed up for mine. I had a piece break in had part of the neck like separate and break right there. So I'm gonna have to figure out some way to fix that. But besides that, it's been really good. And I mean, it's a full-size night proxy for like, I mean, the STL is like $10. I got it as part of the Tribes release, but like it's pretty fucking cool, you know. And the arms go like that. And, I mean, it's pretty boss. It's a really cool thing. It's got little shoulder pads. They just click right on. And really, mad props to Station Forge. They've done a phenomenal job. I've always looked at their stuff. I've never actually printed any of it before. This is actually the first thing of theirs that I've printed. And I am really, really happy with it. So, 10 out of 10. Would definitely recommend Station Forge. This thing is cool as hell. These holes here, they have little shields or guns or stuff. Machine gun somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. So I'm going to put the flamethrower in there. Alright, so you just hold little bits and bobs. Little, like, extra weapons. But yeah, this thing is cool as hell. This is the Scavenger Mark II. And for big models like this, I usually have problems with, like, breaking and splitting and stuff. And that one spot on the neck is the only place I've had an issue. Everywhere else, it's been fantastic. So, highly recommend that. As an STL. So, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix the neck. And then I'll be able to finish him up and paint him up. Okay, what else? Also, Tyranids. Finally, since we were painting some of these on the channel, I finally got around to top coating some of them, so we can put some water on there. I think that's what we'll do as first thing today. I have a little error I have to fix real quick. I don't even need the palette for it. Bloop. And we'll just work it in. There we go. Bloop. Problem solved. I'll just give that a couple minutes to try. But yeah, my Hive Fleet Ito, or Painted Like Sharks, is a reference to Gyo, which is a manga by Junji Ito. They're ready to rock. Coming along really nice. Really happy with them. So we're going to work on their bases first thing. Today I've got 3 guys that are primed. Or, I'm sorry, 3 guys that are top coated. So we're going to work on their bases today. Oh, other updates. From yesterday, we were working on this terrain yesterday for Battletech. So let me show it off a little. So I began to flock it. It has not been top coated yet, but I wanted to show it off flocked. So, if anyone remembers the really kind of janky trees I had yesterday, got some slightly less janky trees today. They look cool, more tree-like. Alright, so we put them down. We got this one here. So they're gonna get coated today, top coated today. And give me nice little tree blocks for my city. So yeah. So give me some nice little tree blocks for, like, here's a hunchback with 2 guns. Alright. You can hide in the forest. And then we've got some little water pieces. They're the same kind of thing. There goes. Sploosh. He now has 50% heat reduction. And then we have the big one, which is right here, which we also worked on. You can see I painted up the little house. And it's got little barrels and wires and shit all over it. So the water rings yesterday, I felt like they were just too defined. So I hit the whole thing with Draconshaft Nightshade. Because I just thought they were too defined. So after these get top coated, I'm going to come in and on the water, I'm going to stipple gloss Mod Podge. And it's going to make like a reflective, kind of clear water texture. Because I don't want the water texture to be super deep, so I'm not going to like pour resin or anything. But just little stippling, a couple layers of gloss Mod Podge there, and she should be rocking and rolling. And this terrain should be ready to be played with in Battletech. Should be really fun. Okay. Alright. Okay. That's a guy we're going to work on next. We're going to work on him later. Just go over there for now. Alright. So, speaking of water textures, I have a supply box right at the end there, so it's easier for me to move my supplies around when I'm setting up to play or not. I've got some Vallejo acrylic water texture. This is like a blue, Azul Pacifico, Pacific blue. It's not as bright as this. It's kind of more darker, kind of like actually kind of like purpley. Come on. Yeah, it's not as bright as this. But what this is essentially paint in gel medium. So this is like a medium density kind of gel. So as I use it, it's going to actually maintain its structure. See that? Like it's holding itself like that. So that's how it's going to work. And it's going to allow me, when I get a brush, there we go, you'll do. It's going to allow me to do little waves and stuff on their bases and make their bases a little more interesting. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around, because I don't want it to be super crazy big, but I do want like the lifting up texture of like water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to stipple their whole base with this stuff. Alright? Boop, boop, boop. Just like that. And then as it dries, by the end of the stream you'll probably be able to see it on this guy. It's going to dry like kind of clear, dark blue. And it might end up getting more than one coat, depending on how the coverage is, but yeah. So you can see it there. See the brightness? So it's not going to be that bright when it dries, but we'll be left with a really cool effect. So I'm going to go ahead and do it all around. I'm not going to super worry if I get it on the model. I mean, it's water. It's kind of splashy. It's going to get on them. So as long as I don't have like a crazy streak of it, I'm not going to worry about it if it gets on them. This is essentially gel medium. It's from Vallejo. Their products for these are the best per cost, so I highly recommend them. But because it's gel medium, technically you can make this yourself for cheaper. Just go into like a high-end art supply store and picking some up. But I mean, honestly, the difference would only probably be like a couple of dollars, and to me, the convenience of being able to get it colored and like something that I know is going to look nice on models. Like I don't have to experiment with products. It's Vallejo. I know Vallejo. Like, you know, that benefit right there is worth the couple dollar difference to me. If you do want clear gel medium, because there are different densities of it, they all kind of behave kind of differently. So they can be like super dense to less dense. So just be aware of that. And you have to experiment with them a little bit. So I can show you the one I have. So yeah, here you go. This is from Golden. It's drying acrylic medium. This stuff is super dense. So like this is like this acrylic medium here. That's like a medium texture. This stuff is like, I think they call it heavy. It, like, you could literally make a straight up and down line out of it and it will hold most of its shape. So if you want really intense like waves and stuff, this is the best. So I have a I have a demon army for Tzeentch. I have a Tzeentch demon army. And they're on like warp fire bases, which have like these big fire like bits popping up. I made them all out of those, and it worked really well. So, but it's definitely like heavier and will maintain more of its shape than this will. This is going to normalize a little bit. It's going to set a little bit. It's going to settle. The other stuff's not. Like, well, it does. It settles a little bit, but it settles such a tiny amount compared to this, the stuff from Vallejo. Because I think the Vallejo stuff's like a medium. I think that's like a heavy. They have different names for them with the different brands and stuff. Like, you know. So if you choose to go the route of buying your own, you're just gonna have to experiment with it a little bit. Whereas the Vallejo stuff I can heavily recommend because it's just really nice. Yeah, just really nice. So yeah, just going around my little Junji Ito Tyranids here. Since we got our shots yesterday, I went to bed pretty early because I was beat. I was laying there. Actually just started a new Junji Ito manga. For anyone that doesn't know, he's a like very prolific like horror manga writer and illustrator. His stuff has this very like it's very very detailed artwork, like super detailed like line work, like pure black and white, very stark, really neat. Really cool style. Really good artist. You should have water there. Wipe that off. Every Halloween, I make a point to read a manga from him. My idea for my Tyranids here, I got from one of his books called Gyo, which is about like fish monsters coming out of the ocean and killing everyone. It's actually about like this crazy gas that's propelling animals forward. It's really weird shit. Excuse me. Yeah, super weird shit. And all of his stuff has this like strange cosmic horror vibe to it. Some of it has like crazy like Christianity stuff mixed into it. It's good stuff. I like it a lot. I am a big Junji Ito fan. Every summer or every October, I make a point to read one of his mangas. So last night I started The Liminal Space, which is a collection of a bunch of short stories about all kinds of weird stuff. And it starts off with like a lady that won't stop crying. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Would recommend. If you are going to read his stuff, though, his best work is one called Uzumaki, at least in my opinion. It's one called Uzumaki. And it's all these like disconnected short stories that all end up being connected at the end. Really good stuff. So yeah, you can see the stippling texture really strong on this one. So yeah, they might end up getting more than one coat, but we'll see as it dries and go from there. You can also paint this stuff once it's dry. You could mix paint into it, but it's going to make it behave a little bit differently. So just keep that in mind if you do it. Yeah. Because this stuff here, it's like I said, it's gonna dry like tinted plastic. Like it's gonna be pretty clear when it dries. It's one of the reasons I made a point to paint all the bases so that they're all the same blue. Because you're gonna be able to see through this. It's gonna act kind of like a filter over the color underneath of it. Maybe if you painted the base white, you'd have a you'd get a brighter blue out of it. Because I painted it a pretty dark blue, but maybe you'd get a brighter blue then. I don't know. Didn't really experience that until right now. Didn't even think about it. So yeah. But yeah. So it's spooky time. So I'm excited to play spooky game. I was looking last night, and there is no Silver Bayonet crew builder sheet, which blows my fucking mind. There's one in the back, but it's not like an actual like printable sheet. So yeah, I was digging around in the Facebook groups. When you don't have a lot of physical energy, like exploring the internet's a good thing to do. So I was digging around in the Facebook groups, and someone made a PDF, not a PDF, someone made an Excel sheet, which is like fillable with an army, which I thought was kind of weird. I mean, hey, more power to them for making something, right? That's awesome, even if it's a little jank. It's cool when people make stuff and get back and all that, so yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, I bet I could code one. And then it occurred to me that really making a website out of it's probably not the best. Probably the best would just be to make a fillable PDF. I feel like I got spoiled by Space Station Zero. That game was really fun. I keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about taking other teams and stuff through it. Especially as I was reading the single player rules in Silver Bayonet, where it's like you can just, you know, make stuff up and have fun with it, and I'm like yes, I could do that without your book. It's like come on, give me a little bit more here. But when we play, which might be next weekend, I am going out in person to play next weekend with somebody. So I think we might play on Saturday instead of streaming on Sunday. I think we might do that instead. So I'm actually going to go play some Battletech with a IRL friend. I'm going to do that. That's pretty cool. So because of that, I think I will probably stream Silver Bayonet on Saturday instead. So we're gonna play on Sunday. I'm playing at the Armchair Adventurer, which is pretty cool. Nice little store out here in Hawaii. There we go. Textured up his base with the water texture. Now he gets to sit. Water texture takes let me rephrase that. The gel medium takes a pretty long time to dry. We'll see if it dries by the time we're done hanging out today. We'll see. Alright. What else are we doing? I was going to paint one of my Tyranids. I was going to paint that pattern on them. So here's one of my Tyranids. This is a custom Carnifex. I gave him a custom gun so people can't complain at what kind of gun he has. And he just says, I'm like, he has a giant dick cannon. I'm like, let him be. You know? So, this guy has been in this state for close to a year. So I think we're going to update him to the new color scheme for my Tyranids. Their new shark colors, because they're shark boys. Eating all the things. So I think we're going to update him for that. And in the end, he should look like his brother, the other Carnifex, right here. There he is. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him. Alright. So, what do we need to do? First off, we have to find some fucking energy. Okay. Second off, this shell color, this is Stone Golem. I don't want to use this color for my Tyranids. I want their shells to be a lighter white, the same white that I use for their skin, which then gets a wash over it. So we're going to do that. You can see I magnetized them in the middle. I don't actually know why I did that. I like magnetizing shit. So we're going to paint all of his shell white first. And then we're going to let him sit. And we're going to paint in the stippling gray. Which, if you're curious, is a color called London gray. In case we don't get to it today. I'm very tired. But I wanted to do something. I've technically only ever missed one Sunday stream, and that was when I had a death of a friend I was very close to on Sunday. So I prefer not to miss Sunday streams, even if I feel like crap. I feel like that is important. I feel like too many people on YouTube and beyond, they like cultivate this like character and this like presentation quality, but really this kind of platform and interaction is about getting to see earnest people. So I feel like it's important that even when people are kind of rough, you get to see them, you know. I think that's super important. So yeah. So even when I feel like I've literally been run over by a herd of buffalo, like fucking Mufasa from The Lion King, I make a point to drag myself out here. You know? Well, I think that's important, right? 'Cause all the people that are streaming and stuff, like, some people do it for a living, right? But like, I do it because I enjoy it, and because I'm a big ass autistic nerd, and I really like toys, and this gives me a chance to talk about my toys, even if it's with faceless camera. So that's why even when I'm not at my peak, I join YouTube's and I make my videos, because I think it's important to see the whole person, you know, and realize what they got going on. You know, made videos before. I've been on the verge of panic attacks and all kinds of stuff, because hashtag mental awareness. But I don't know. Today I'm just recovering from my booster, and I'm really tired. Thankfully, one of the weird side effects I get with the boosters, and when I had COVID, was a jaw pain. I get this really weird jaw pain. Thankfully, that's mostly gone. Like, it's just starting up now because I've been talking so much. But it's not that bad. But yeah, thankfully that one's mostly gone. Still got a little bit of shortness of breath, a little bit of headache, lots of muscle fatigue, lots of overall fatigue, and some brain fog. But it'll clear up like it always does. And a couple day or two of feeling like ass is worth it if I'm not going to die. So it is a fair trade in my book. I'm going to have a reduced chance to kill somebody's grandma and get her sick. And I'm going to have a reduced chance by like 90% of going to the hospital. So that's a fair trade in my book. So I'll have a shitty day. So I can have that little bit of peace of mind. Anyway, I'm using a size 1 brush. I do like these bigger brushes. The ones I got here are not super good quality, but they're decent enough. I got a whole pack of these off Amazon for like $10. I don't really use expensive brushes. I'm not very nice to my brushes, so I don't treat them as well as I should. So I tend to buy a lot of like cheap brushes because of that. Excuse me. Anyway, that's gonna be my day. It's sad I'm not gonna get to play today, but it's best for my husband to get his shot because he is gonna be on a lot of planes coming up. So. So it's for the best. You're probably like, you're replacing one shade with a very, very similar shade. And you would not be wrong. This shade, this color, is called Spaceship Exterior. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite. Like, this is what I use whenever I have to paint white. It's a slight off-white. It's a little bit creamy. I think it's a nicer looking white than like a pure stark white. This shade is actually what the entire model's painted in before washes. So this like gray skin color here, that's Apothecary White over, which is a GW contrast paint, over over this Spaceship Exterior color. So, just interesting. It produces this really nice kind of gray color. But since I want the shell to not be defining, right? One of the reasons I chose to do the shark pattern is that it helps me break up where the shell starts and stops. Doesn't do it 100%, which I like, but it does something which is good. Like it shows you there's a start and an end point. Or I mean, it helps to blend that start and end point. That helps the shark pattern be more visible. So the pattern becomes the disruptor, not the lines on the model. So because of that, I like to make sure this matches because I do want that pattern to be the disruptor. It's out of nature. Things very rarely are like hard starts and stops. It's a lot more like this color blends into that color. And if you look at crabs, lots of times they Sometimes they have these really hard start starts and stops, but lots of times it's very kind of like subtle. Like, you know. So I want to do that. The reason I mentioned crabs is because I have done, Jesus, hundreds of color palettes on different Tyranids. My original inspiration for them was ghost crabs. This model, before I started this, is actually my ghost crab color palette, but I decided to redo it because, I'll be totally honest, a lot of people made jokes and were like, "Oh, when are you gonna paint your Tyranids?" Thanks, Mom, for that one. So because of that, I decided not to do that color. All right, here's the color we're going to use for the stripes. So this is London Gray. I'm a dummy, so the stippling pattern I've only been doing on the back. I haven't been doing it all over the body. I was a dummy and I painted those leg pieces. I shouldn't have done that, but it's all good. No worries, no harm, no foul. So we're going to paint the back of this claw because I like doing the back of the claws with this color. I think it looks nice. It helps the claw stand out a little bit more from all the whites. So we're going to do that. That. And then we're going to down here. Paint these in. Sorry, I'm probably slow in talking a little bit because my jaw's starting to hurt really bad. So probably after I'm done painting this guy, we're going to call it. I am running out of the old steam thanks to my booster. You know, it was a free booster, which was really nice. I didn't have to pay for it. And I would, even though I'm beat up 10 out of 10, would recommend that everyone get a booster. Right? It's always better safe than sorry. Even though I'm a little beat, I would highly recommend it. So, just something worth thinking about. My brush is splitting. I literally just started using this. Why are you splitting already, you motherfucker? Because I treat you like shit, I know. But you were also $1. So this London Gray paint is interesting. It actually has really like weird surface tension. So like if you just kind of like super lightly paint it on, it'll actually make it'll actually pool and like create blank spots. It's very strange. I don't know what's in it, but it's a really weird behavior for an acrylic paint. But like it'll do it all on its own. Yeah, you can see it there, see? See that dot? Yeah. Just means that largely you really can't leave it with just one coat. You gotta hit it with multiple. And then it doesn't have any problems, but it's just really strange behavior. Alright. Oh, give me a sec. Let's paint that leg armor that I already painted once. Let's paint it again. Round 2, paint this leg armor. Yeah. I'm super happy when I finally came up with an idea for my Tyranids. I've literally been trying to paint them for 2 years. And I've done hundreds of different color schemes. I have a whole like shopping bag with models that are just like sort of painted different color schemes, including some big stuff. My the big Vorbeast with the big tongue, he's in there. I gotta get him. I have to like eBay miniature rescue my own miniatures from when I didn't know how I wanted to paint them, and I was just trying to do test models because I would come up with a scheme and I would like it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a big model in it, and then I'd be like, wow, I hate this. Or the next day I would be like, wow, that was really bad, or like that doesn't have the like feeling or the theme that I want of it, you know. But I think doing the grays, painting them like sharks, that's close to what I want. Have my own little head cannon for these Tyranids. So this is High Fleet Ito. They landed on a water planet like millennia ago. Like before the planet was inhabited by people. As soon as they landed, their Hive Queen like fell asleep. Right? And just this slumber. And basically they were just unable to wake her up. So without direction, they you know, they're not going to just like go like super feral, you know, because like they still have their Hive Queen. It's not like, you know, they're out of synapse range or anything. She's still there, you know. She's just not giving them orders. They're kind of like idle. So because of that, they set up. They're like, well, we can't wake her up. So if we consume this planet, we're essentially putting ourselves on a like timer where we'll run out of food, so we don't have orders to like go out and hit other planets and stuff. So what they did is they essentially set up to start farming the planet they're on. So they maintain this kind of like weird presence where every now and then they'll just like suck someone into the gloom and eat them, you know. And they like consume like all the local fish and stuff, but not like to the like crazy Tyranid consumption points like normal. So you essentially have like this Hive Queen who's down there, right? Because they're these like cosmic horror nightmare creatures, essentially. You have her who's down there and she's just asleep, you know, while these things continue to like pick at this world so they can keep their Hive Fleet going, because they don't have directions to just go bonkers and consume. So I'm stippling with my brush. I really shouldn't be using this brush for this. I should get a different brush. I'm going to further kill this brush if I keep using it for stippling. So we're going to stop doing that. Ugh. Yeah. Well, I probably just killed this brush. Hi. That's a better brush for stippling. I was just kind of my own little headspace, you know. Because all the all the nonsenses. Trying to get a little edge there. Alright. We can actually go back to the airbrush now. So yeah, so that's my own headcanon for these guys. They're kind of this, like, sleeping leviathan that lives on this world and just occasionally, like, farms the people out of it. I had this idea that they would be like the bad guys for my AdMech, right? My AdMech, they're intended to be like Bloodborne inspired, and I liked the idea that maybe the thing that was driving the AdMech crazy was this like sleeping hive queen, you know, who's still like exerting force and madness and stuff on this world, even though she's like not. You know, like not like, like telling them to consume the entire planet instantly, you know? I kind of liked this, like, slumbering monstrosity, like Shadow in the Warp, kind of like Cthulhu thing. Alright. I think I'm going to leave the pipes on this one, because the pipes on the other one I colored dark. Should I color the pipes on this one dark? I think I might leave them white and just stipple around their bottoms so it looks like they became white at the ends. Just so he's a little bit more different from the other one. Because I do like them to match, but I also want them to, I want them to be a little bit different, you know? Each one of my monsters is unique. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Just like that. Show at the ends as well. Go. When you have a messed up brush, the getting a like crazy, like varied effect is much easier with stippling. Than it is like trying to paint that by hand, you know? I guess I am painting it by hand. I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm running out of juice. Thanks, Booster Shot. Making me say stuff that doesn't make sense. Alright. Not that I don't normally do that, because I mean, let's be real, I do. But, you know. This little one here, the inside of the head, we'll hit that one too. Just keep the pattern going. You probably can't see this very well, but I'll show you when she's done. See the little piece of armor there on the back of the head? So I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of gray too. There we go. Yeah, so there she goes. That's a done up Carnifex. So gonna let that dry, and then I'll hit it with round 2 of the gray to make sure there's no weird dots or anything that formed. And then I'll hit the whole thing with Apothecary White from GW. And that'll be it. And she's good to go. We'll probably paint a couple of I'll probably paint a couple of these tubes blue. Some of them I've been painting blue so that they match some of the other models a little bit better. Alright, well, let's put him there. Let's take a look at the first guy we did the base for. As you can see, it's starting to dry. Oh, no, you can't. You can't when I hold it off the screen. But yeah, you can see it's starting to dry and give this like kind of wavy effect. See the darker blue bits? That's it drying. Lighter blue bits are not dry yet. But yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was something. And next weekend we'll play Silver Bayonet on Saturday, because I'll be playing Battletech with a friend on Sunday. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys for watching, and keep on keeping on. I'm going to go lay down for a couple minutes.